Hey everybody, Todd Stocker here. Another episode for you on my YouTube channel. Before I get started, I just want to encourage you to go and hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet, and also the bell icon. That way you can get a notification of all the videos that come out. I'm going to be trying to do this a little bit more consistently because I'm finding more and more people are asking me questions about personal development, taking life to the next level, and today we're going to be talking about something that I want to give some words to that many of us are feeling. I'm recording this post-election 2020. It hasn't been completely resolved yet, so it's just been chaotic. I mean, this whole 2020 year has been just nuts. From the shutdowns to COVID to the riots to obviously the election, as I just mentioned. And it has taken a toll on a lot of people. And by a lot, I mean a lot, me included. And so I just wanted to address a quick video about something that I'm calling, and actually it's not a new phrase, but it's called soul fatigue. I want to give credit actually to Dean Donovan, my buddy, who brought it up originally, but it's called soul fatigue. And it's basically that sense of, you know, when you wake up and you're just, or even just going through the day and you're just kind of feeling like life is going along in neutral, or you just, like if you could paint a color to your day, it would be gray. It just feels like clouds. And even if you're in a sunshiny part of the world, you just feel like, oh, how much more can I take? So I want to talk just briefly about soul fatigue, but I also want to encourage you. I'm going to be doing a webinar the first part of December on soul fatigue. And if you go to toddstocker.com/soul fatigue, you'll see a little description of the webinar that I'm going to be giving and a direct link to the webinar so you can register. It's through a partner ministry of mine, Church Doctor Ministries. And so really excited about that. So just, again, click the link below in the description and you can, or just go to toddstocker.com/soul fatigue and you'll be able to see all the information there. So soul fatigue, again, it's maybe a new word for you, but soul fatigue is just this sense of dullness in your life. Now, I'm not a clinical physician. I studied psychology and I've been working in kind of that field for a long time. But it's a little bit different from depression. Depression is a major depressive disorder. Depression is common to a lot of people. It's a serious medical illness that negatively affects you in life. And it's described really as a darkness, and it zaps energy, motivation. It affects your physical, emotional, and even spiritual health. So soul fatigue isn't necessarily that. Soul fatigue also isn't just flat out burnout, where you are just in this state of emotional, physical, mental exhaustion caused by excessive long-term stress, and you're just burnt out. I've been through many periods in my life where I've gone through seasons of work time and work life that I'm just like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. So soul fatigue is a little bit different from depression and a little bit different from burnout. Soul fatigue is recoverable, as is depression. Burnout's a little bit different. You may need to completely change, like in work, as I coach people, and we recognize burnout in that person's life. Sometimes with burnout, you just have to make a complete change of work or a complete change of job within the career that you're doing, because you just can't be effective anymore in it. That's complete burnout. Soul fatigue affects, well, first of all, let me describe what it is. So the word soul is part of who you're made to be, right? You have your physical being, that's the piece you can touch, the physical part of you. And then there's also the spirit part of you. Now that's the connection that you have with something greater than yourself. Whether it's you know who God is, or that spiritual sense that there's something greater. That's the spirit part of you. So body, spirit, and then soul is kind of the global self-identity that you have. I did another video about body, soul, and spirit with morning priming. that you can, I'll put a link to it below this, or even as an end card on this video. But you are made as a body, a spirit, and a soul. And so soul fatigue, what causes soul fatigue, that sense of just, I'm not depressed, I'm not really burned out, but boy, it just feels gray. My life feels gray. Some of the things that cause that are you have been emptying yourself out to other people more than filling yourself up. I mean, I think of parents, especially during this COVID thing, if you have young kids and they're or elementary or high school kids and below, and you're trying to figure out school. Where I live, every 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to a hybrid model with online learning to some live learning to it's just kind of all over the board. And so as parents, you're trying to help your student navigate all of that, as long as yourself, because you then become a teacher. So you're giving and giving and giving, and you're not refilling. That causes soul fatigue. Also, soul fatigue is caused by a mismatch of what is being asked of you on a consistent basis through your work, for example. So you could be a very highly creative type person, but yet your daily job is data entry, for example, or something that is very structured and rigid. That's fine for a short period of time, but over time, you're going to become soul fatigued and weary of doing that job. Maybe you're there already. So basically you have this, it's a general, soul fatigue is a general disconnect between your body, soul, and spirit. You have to be nurturing all three of those consistently throughout your life. And again, like I said, there's another video. I'll link to it below here, and you can see just the beginning of that. I'm going to actually, as an aside, I'm going to be expanding on that concept of body, soul, and spirit in terms of your morning routine. So a couple of telltale signs that you might have soul fatigue. One of them is you don't feel rested when you wake up. Now, honestly, that was me this morning, and it wasn't because I went to bed late, but once in a while that happens because of whatever was happening the day before, or maybe you just had a bad night's sleep. But if it's a consistent every day for weeks and weeks, you might have soul fatigue. And another thing could be that your body aches often. Again, like I said, you are created body, spirit, and soul. Body, soul, spirit. And so things that are happening in your spirit or in your soul, your personality, come out and play out in your body. And that's scientifically proven, and vice versa as well. So what are some of the things that you could do to sort of manage this sense of soul fatigue? Well, immediately, like for immediate restoration, again, going back to body, soul, spirit, identify what is out of whack in one of those. For us, we're starting into the fall winter season here up in the upper Northwest or upper Midwest, and it's hard to get outside and hard to get your body moving. Make sure you're consistently doing that kind of work. Your physical health, your spirit, what is your time with God? If you're a Christ follower, what does that look like for you? What is your time in prayer, devotion, thinking, processing, getting into that spirit piece of you? And then also your soul, personal development things. Don't stop your disciplines. Just constantly do that. Longer term care, one of the best things you can do for soul fatigue is to take time away intentionally. Now, I'm not talking about where you have to call in sick and because you can't function, but when you plan on your calendar, you are taking control of your soul fatigue and you're tending to it. It's self-care, which is so common and typical. But put on your calendar soul care, even if it's a half a day, and you intentionally take time off to rest and reflect. So for longer term care, as I'm coaching people, and even for myself, it started with me because I needed some help in this area many years ago. I came up with a little phrase that I adapted from a couple people, and it's basically talking about you need rest, you need solitude Even if you have one of those personalities that's like, I gotta be around people, I can't have solitude, I can't be by myself. You do need some sort of solitude. You do need time to pull away, and maybe not even just cognitively, mentally, but your subconscious need that time of break, time of breaking away, and to reposition and reset. So I came up with this little phrase. Everybody should divert daily, withdraw weekly, move away monthly, and abandon annually. Now let me do a quick explanation of these. Divert daily basically means stop working. Just change what you're doing during the day. Go home after work, leave work at work if you can do that. Don't open up your laptop at 8 o'clock at night. Divert daily from what you're normally doing. Withdraw weekly means to take your days off. I know so many people, especially I come from the ministry or church work world, so many of us in that world don't take our days off. Many of us only take one day awake, or whatever we're assigned, whatever we can do. But make sure you withdraw weekly. Move away monthly means to take some time by yourself, half day, full day, and get away from your normal area. So I live, like I said, in the upper Midwest. I live on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and there's a lot of really cute, small, quaint river towns. And so once a month, I try to spend half a day somewhere along one of those towns. I either work or I just walk down the street in one of these towns at a little coffee shop or something, but just something different to move away monthly. And then quit quarterly, which means, I didn't mention that in the original, but quit quarterly is another one where you basically quit quarterly and you take a couple of days away. Every workplace has personal time off. You take those personal days quarterly as you can per your job. Abandon annually then means just to take your vacation. I just went back through and did an assessment of all the last couple of years of my vacation time and how much I actually took, and realized that I'm allotted this amount, such and such an amount of days, and I only took on average half of those days off in terms of a vacation. But you need to practice, again, let me say them again, practice solitude in diverting daily, withdraw weekly, move away monthly, quit quarterly, and abandon annually. Okay? And then another one, again with the soul fatigue, start your day correctly. Prime your day. Get ready for your day in a certain way that sets your day in a positive direction. I do a little exercise where I believe that my day is going to be good, and so that it's up to the day to prove me wrong. Does that make sense? I'll do another video on that, because that's a whole nother thing I like to teach people and teach myself, basically. So there it is, soul fatigue. I know a lot of us are dealing with it. If you want more help on that, again, the link to the webinar that's coming up is below. Also, you can contact me at toddstocker.com. Leave some comments in the space below. There are questions, and I'll respond to those. I'm on YouTube and answering those as much as I can. Or again, like I said, go to toddstocker.com and you can connect with me there. So hopefully that has been helpful. Again, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'd love to see you again. See you soon. Thanks. Bye.